Hello, hello, and welcome, everyone. I am your host, Lizzie, with the LizyT show right here on YouTube and all of the social media that are out there. There are about 10 right now. I can't keep up with all of them. It is right the middle of the week. It is Wednesday, and I am so excited to be able to continue this season that we've had for the last month or so, which is Woman on Fire season. This is such an incredible opportunity for you that is watching right now, don't know what Woman on Fire is. Well, it's time for you to get involved. This is a community, a network, a group of incredible women that are getting together. Is coming up, as you can see on the screen, on April the 22nd and the 23rd. Allison Harvey is the founder, and I am so honored to be able to sponsor this event, not only by just being as a media all together, but also by interviewing incredible women that have done incredible things in the community, and they haven't been recognized. Businesswomen, authors, entrepreneurs, doctors. We're going to have an incredible lady coming up just in a little second. And so if you are interested in being part of this event, as you can see here on the screen, please connect with Allison Harvey, Woman on Fire. The website, everyone, is womanonfireweblazing.com. And I will love to see you there, to be part of it, supporting this, and obviously interacting, networking with incredible women from all over Canada, the US, and I hear that now is international. So incredible. Can't miss it. So today, everyone, I will love for you to be able to join me. An incredible woman. Her name is Dr. Anna Sullivan. She have earned her degree from the Canadian Memorial Chiropractic College in Toronto, here in Canada, back in 1987. She was elected as a fellow International Academy of the Clinic Acupuncture. She has also received the Diploma of Homeopathy from the Hahnemann College of Homeopathy in the United Kingdom in 1990. She has a strong background in nutrition, Chinese herbal medicine, my favorite, and nutritionist. From 35 years, she has 3 successful natural healthcare clinic, one in Hamilton, Dundalk, and Milton, Ontario. Congratulations. Dr. Annas was inspired to become a natural health care professional, inspired by her mother, who has severe IBS. And for some of you that don't know what IBS is, is Irritable Bowel Syndrome. I actually have a family member who used to, thank God, be really bother or have issues with this uh delicate and more common. She has a huge accolade, but I don't want to ruin everything. I want her to share with you all her achievement, all her accomplishment. Definitely talked about the IBS, which is so more common than you think of. People talk about having this issue and not having a solution. Maybe today you can hear from. By the way, the chats are open if you would like to connect with us and to give us your comment, your questions, and love to find out more about what you're love about this interview. So this conversation, rather. Let's welcome her with a wonderful. Hello, Dr. Anna. How are you doing?
Hello there, Lizzie. Nice to see you. I'm doing fabulous.
As always, you look amazing. I've seen you before briefly in some of the networkings that we've actually had the opportunity to be together, but today you look incredible. Can you give us a little bit of background? I mean, we talked about in your biography how important was you to get involved due to your mom's situation. Anything else inspires you to do what you're doing, and to why was it that you decided to become in this have this field in your life?
Well, my mother was the first inspiration with respect to me looking into becoming a natural health care professional. But the more research I did, the more actually angry I got because of the mistreatment, especially women, via the medical profession, really, because women are the main people that have so many issues, hormone issues, weight issues, depression, anxiety, but the treatment is just really lacking with respect to any benefits and actual a cure of these conditions. And so that is why I've spent my life, it's my passion to help as many people, especially women, get through these conditions like chronic fatigue, like irritable bowel syndrome, like excessive weight gain, especially after having children, where really nobody really is able to help them, or very few. And so, and I can gladly say that there's been thousands of women over the last 35 years that I've been in practice that have had gotten their life back. And so that is my passion, and that's what I continue to do.
For some people that are watching us today, and they don't know the background, they don't know the causes. Let's talk about, the most common one. I mean, you talked about a sleeping disorder, you talked about overweight, you talked about depression, you talk about all those things. But one of the things, because it hits so close to home, is IBS. I have a family member that used to suffer huge with those, and thank goodness we have overcome that with one of the remedies. There are many, but one of the remedies, it was regularity, which we didn't think it was a big deal, but we found out that being regular is huge for some people. Tell us, IBS, IBS. How what are the symptoms? And I know you talked a little bit on your on your ID on your Instagram account, which I love. By the way, you have a lot of tips. Tell us what, somebody who's watching us right now and they're thinking, "Do I have that?" I mean, I think I do have the symptoms, but I've been to the doctor and they're telling me this is not it, or is something else, or they giving me other medications.
Well, the biggest challenge with irritable bowel syndrome is that it's actually, there is no test for it. And that is a big, big problem because it's actually a functional issue, meaning when you go see your doctor, and the most common symptom is things like diarrhea or constipation, and sometimes coming on suddenly, and there's no rhyme or reason for it. And that is why it's such a um, confusing problem, such a really stressful condition because um, the person suffering from it don't know what's going on. And so they're living in fear all the time of having maybe a massive diarrhea attack, excuse me, when they're in the middle of somewhere where there's no bathroom. Can you imagine needing to go very bad, but there's no bathroom in sight? So, what happens eventually with these people is that they become recluses. They don't want to go out. They don't want to go to a restaurant because sometimes what they eat triggers a massive attack, which makes them run to the bathroom. And other times they could be constipated for weeks. And this was what I went through with my mom. Ever since I've known her, either within 5-10 minutes of starting dinner, she might run to the bathroom and you could hear her having a massive diarrhea attack. Or sometimes she'd be locked in the bathroom for hours and really not be able to go, and she'd be constipated for weeks. And there's this alternating diarrhea and constipation. But when she went to her doctor, and she would go almost every month, they couldn't find anything wrong with her. They did all the tests, etc., and there was nothing that they found that was wrong in her digestive tract or anywhere else. And eventually, they keep telling her that it was in her head. Oh, it's just stress. You need to relax, etc. And
Mhm.
no, that is very, very discouraging. And eventually,
Yes.
and whatever medication that they gave her actually ultimately didn't help, or they even made her worse.
One of the things that I mentioned earlier that, for my family member, we were able to come up with our own solution, exactly what you described. Uh, Massive diarrhea for days, and doctors would basically said exactly the same thing that you just mentioned, is in your head, this you're too stressed, you are this or you are that, and then here is some medication for you to not to have any more diarrhea. But that was just a masking solution. It didn't fix the problem. And again, we started doing some research. This is going back 10 years ago, and one of the things that we encountered was just to be regular in your sleeping habit, in your eating habit, the amount of food that you eat, what amounts of food, the time that you're eating your food, and the times that you go to sleep. All those for us work. I know everybody's different, but one of the things that how because doctors again don't know, and I'm not sure why they don't know, but because to me it seems kind of simple. But anyhow, what kind of test or how do you treat somebody that comes in into your clinic and basically they describe, I think I have IBS. How do you help them? And I know everybody's different.
Actually, there's now with it took me 2 years actually, once I became a chiropractor and understood the science and the research, there actually is a reason why somebody has IBS, and yet nobody's told. And this is a condition which is so common. Over close to 20% of the North American population suffer from it, from children to young adults to older people, and most people suffer years and years, sometimes even decades, because nobody can figure out what's going on. But what they found was that people who suffer IBS, somehow, somewhere in their history, they suffer some kind of trauma to their bowels. They could have had food poisoning, or they could have suffered from a stomach flu, or some very stressful situation, which kind of changes the way their gut and the brain react. So the nerves in the gut sends different signals to the brain, and the brain thinks the gut is still being attacked. And so when even certain foods like fats, there's certain foods that actually will trigger these attacks, and most people don't realize what they are. And they are any fatty foods is the number one cause of the attacks. Carbonated drinks, because anything that tends to irritate or stimulate the digestive tract has a high risk of causing attacks. And so there's actually simple ways to manage your IBS. But once you have it, it's something that you have for life, because there's actually a change in the way your large intestine responds to certain foods and triggers. And that's the key, is understanding what those are. Then 90% of your attacks can actually be managed strictly by what you eat and when you eat.
It's a huge number, doctor, and because 20%, that's a huge number.
Millions and
Uh,
millions of people, and they don't talk about it because it's so embarrassing. That is why it's actually the number one condition that gastroenterologists see in their offices. Number one, the digestive
wow.
specialist. It's the number one condition, but most people don't even know that other people suffer from it because they won't say, or half of these people don't even go see their doctor because they're so embarrassed to talk about it.
It's true. It's true. And I'm glad that there are people like you that have a different outlook, a different way of treating, a way of actually talking about it, and people feel comfortable. By the way, I don't want to forget for the people that are watching us or will be watching later on, will be on my YouTube channel for you to be able to reach out to her. There's 3 clinics. Congratulations that you have that. So for people that would like to get in touch with you, I assume you're you're pretty good on some of the social media, but one of the best social media or best way of reaching out to you is.
Actually, best ways to reach out to me by messenger. I'm on Facebook
Mhm.
and Instagram as well. So those social medias platform is perfect.
Okay. So you can see it down here. Make sure that you connect with this lady. This 20% is a huge number, and we don't want to be able to.
Actually, women are much higher sufferers than men, and there's other reasons for that. Yep.
Good observation. I mean, and you've studied this, but women, because bigger stress, we bear children. Why do you think? What is the reason that more women than men?
Well, because like you mentioned, stress is a huge factor because the stress hormones actually will irritate the gut as well, which is another trigger. Not
Mm,
just the foods, because that was one of my mom's probably top two triggers is if she had a major stress event or she had an argument with my dad, that we could actually predict that she was going to have an attack that evening. And so,
okay.
stress, high stress, the women tend to have the brunt of the stressors because we do so much. We have
Mm,
no time for ourselves. We're running from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep. Sometimes we don't even sleep because we run out of time. We do our laundry like at midnight because we don't have a chance to get it done during the day. I know. I've been there, done that. And so
it's like you're reading my mind here. It's like you know what's been going on in my own house. So yes, absolutely. And one of the things that I've, because of my husband, or being having IBS, it really helps me to learn what not to do and how to avoid. But I guess is some people are more prone than other, and I'm glad that you were able to help. So make sure that you reach this lady. Let's talk about Woman on Fire. I mean, is this your first time? Is this have you been before? I don't remember seeing you there, but maybe I've missed you. How did you get involved? And by the way, who put your name through it?
Actually, it was strictly by accident. I just
Oh,
happened to connect with Allison, who happened to be we happened to be Facebook friends, and somehow we got connected. And then we started to chat, and she found out what I did, and she was just floored with information. And so it was I can blame it all on Allison and for us even connected, you and I connecting. So it's a small world, and really, social media is a way to connect because actually, currently, I help people all over the world, and
that
it's
is
incredible.
awesome.
I actually don't have a clinic. I'm actually retired.
Oh my
I
goodness.
retired 6 years ago after 32 years in private practice, and it was the perfect time because I wanted to spend more time with my daughter who's going to high school, and I wanted to homeschool her, which was the best choice. Now she's
Of
just finished
course.
her college courses, but I can help now more people not being their doctor than when I used to run my clinic. Because when
Wow.
I had a clinic, I I could only help those people that came to see me. And I was bound by, the my license, etc. But all my information still in my head. But now I can help people whether they live in Canada, US, the Philippines, as long as we can communicate. I mean, if we speak the different language, we'll just have a translator. It is incredible what social media and the internet has done because this was not available when basically I was running my clinics earlier. So
Wow.
I'm just so excited, and it's just giving me a new lease in life because I needed to continue to help people, and that was what was missing when I gave up my practice when I retired. So I'm really excited to help people on Facebook or Instagram, because there's so many people suffering out there.
Yes, yes. I'm so glad that you are able not only to continue retire, but continue on by helping others via the mediums that are being offered to us. I mean, the internet is a great tool. It can be used for good and bad, and I'm so glad that you're using it for good. So, this is your very first event, A Woman on Fire. What are you expecting?
Well, I'm expecting a ton of fun, that's for sure.
Good,
You
good.
get a group of like-minded women together, and man, the things that can happen. You know what they say: what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Maybe that will be what will be at this event, but I'm sure it's going to be. If anything, it will be a lot of fun, and I'll get to connect with a lot of women and. That's able to help other women in various areas. So I'm really excited to attend.
That's awesome. So I also hear that you might be one of the speakers that is going to be uh, in, inspiring us.
Well, I was really grateful for Allison asking me to be on the panel. Apparently, there'll be a panel of different women, and they can ask questions with respect to each of our professions or our specialties. And so, I'd be more than happy to help anybody who has any kind of issues, whether it's with IBS or whether it's chronic fatigue or any health conditions, because I've seen them all. I've seen them all, and nothing is new under the sun. And so, even one or two tips that may somebody may actually use could totally change their life.
Absolutely. I believe that. A great believer in natural and homeopath and natural ways of taking care of yourself. One of the things that I've actually learned with my mother, which is an 81-year-old, unbelievably healthy, but she is the type that for her, oil of oregano is an antibiotic, or
Oh,
cilantro is a detoxer. She wouldn't use anything else. She's never have taken anything in her entire life. She's never had any headache or migraine or any pain whatsoever. And I always tell her, you are going to leave this earth because God wants you. Other than that, there is not going to be any other health issues for her. But absolutely, and I see the proof is in the pudding, like you said, right? It helps when you see results, when you see people life changing, when you see somebody just suffer for many years and doctors are not able to help, and you use the natural way, things that are already in this earth, things that are already here for you, and it works. Wow, then you become a believer. I can totally vouch for that.
well, my mother is now 88 years old.
Wow,
Now
congratulations.
living on her own in the condo that she shared with my father, and she has been IBS free for over 32 years, I believe. Because I think when I graduated from Chiropractic College, she was I believe 52, and it took me a couple of years to do the research so that I could figure out what the heck was going on, what I need to do. And she was actually my first guinea pig. And so it's worked out well. And she follows the protocol that I've given her to this day. And she's, you know, God forbid, she is, in still in great health. And like you said, she will go when it's her time, but
Hmm.
not before.
Exactly, exactly. So you're are you taking anybody to the event? Are you able to attend both of the days or just the Sunday? How is it going to work out for you on the
I'll be attending both days, and since this is my first, I'm going to be attending by myself. But I'm sure I'll be busy as heck. I'm meeting new people and sharing knowledge both ways. So I'm really excited to go to my first event.
Yes, yes. It's going to be an interesting. I know I've been talking to a lot of people that have never attended Woman on Fire, which, surprisingly enough, I believe that the whole country knew about it by now. But it's been 10 years in the work, and I've been being able to participate and sponsor this event for the last 10 years. So this is a decade of incredible motivational speaker networking, and I always look forward to meeting new people and networking and having part of this sisterhood that Allison Woman on Fire has created. I mean, this is for life. I've still friends with people that I met 10 years ago, and it continues to go. And we help each other. We know, we reach out, which is it's incredible. You don't see that anywhere else. Not only that, just to honor people that are doing incredible things, not only in the community, but for others in their businesses. And they would never be recognized otherwise if it wasn't for this platform. So that's one of the things that I really enjoy and really support is little things that sometimes are not little, they're big things. Like helping people, homeless people, and so forth and so on. So that's one of the things that I look forward to as well. And meeting you in person, and hugs. We're last 2 years it's been prohibit, which I didn't follow too much of that kind of order. Hug, hug and kiss. So yeah, it's a must for us to be able to have a little more of that connection that has been lost for the last few years.
Absolutely.
Yes. One of the things that I wanted to ask you too is, as the theme of the show is tell us who you are and what you do, which you've done incredible job doing that. I Now that you have your practice, so-called practice online, is there anything that you want to else to achieve? Because it looks like you've checked pretty much all of your bucket list. Um, Workshops, book, anything in the work that you would like to see coming up in the near future?
Well, actually, I'm currently in the process of creating e-courses so that I can help more people so that this information is accessible. Because if they follow these guidelines on what to eat, what not to eat, and how to combine certain foods, I can almost guarantee 90% of their symptoms, especially for IBS, within a week or two, they can get control of it. And then there's other areas that would that they can manage. That basically they'll be able to live free of the fear of these sudden attacks that happen sometimes out of nowhere. So it's a matter of knowing what to do, and once you know what to do, you have control. And the number one cause of stress is lack of control. So this is going to be huge. So I want to make the information accessible to as many people as possible. So I'm in the works of having a e-course that's available to everyone, and very soon I'll have actually an ebook that people can purchase just for like $7, just so that they can have access to the critical information so they can start right away. So I'm really excited, and once I tackle IBS, I want to tackle other conditions that so many women suffer from, things like chronic fatigue, things like hormone imbalances, and weight gain. I mean, that's huge for everyone. All of a sudden, each year, even though you didn't change what you ate, etc., you can't get rid of the pounds, etc. Number one reason is a hormone imbalance. And how do you balance it naturally? And there's so many remedies, nuclearly designed remedies, all kinds of remedies that people are not aware of. And so you don't know what you don't know. So once you know, then you have the power. And that's the thing. I want to give power back to the women so that they can live their best life. And that's my passion.
Well, good for you. Wow. I can't wait for you to be able to launch your online workshop or your online e-learning, which one of the things that we've been doing a lot nowadays, especially with technology and the internet, and the last few years that has been kind of confining us, being more indoors, unfortunately. But yeah, this is going to be a great tool for people that are looking to get more knowledge to help themselves, especially if those women are not getting help from your regular physician, or your sometimes you go as far as seeing 2, 3 specialists and nothing solves it. So this could be an answer to your prayers. If you're watching right now, make sure you do connect with this incredible lady. The site is here, or rather, the IG and her social media. One of the things that you talked about, Dr. Anna, it was a hormonal balance. I've noticed too, but a lot of, and especially myself, becoming through premenopausal. One of the things that I noticed too is that's usually when premenopausal, when hormones are just completely out of control. But obviously there is exception to that rule. One of the things that you could advise us, or just give us a little bit of overview, how can we help women are there that are going through that hormonal imbalance?
Well, you know what? The problem in our society, in the Western society, is that changes through our lives are considered diseases. For instance, puberty is considered almost a disease. Um, Pregnancy is considered a 9-month disease. Menopause is considered a disease where it's always solved. If something happens, it's always solved by some kind of pharmaceutical. But if those are transitions in our lives, and if you transition properly, there shouldn't be any issues. So it's a matter of figuring out why there was an imbalance. And the reason women suffer so much more, because we have so many hormones that we need to deal with compared to men. Men are pretty simple, more ways than one. But easy for them because they don't have all of these changes. But one of the biggest factors of why you become perimenopausal or have all those symptoms is because of the stress hormones. And this is a huge issue, is we are taking on so much during the day. We're at work, come back home, we have a second job, which is managing the household, managing the children. And so there's nothing for us left. And the biggest challenge I have for all the women is that you end up being at the bottom of the to-do list. What you need to do is put yourself at the top of the to-do list. And that's something foreign to most women, because we are givers, we're caretakers. We look after everyone else and everything else first. Even the dog gets looked after before we're looked after. So it's a shift in mindset, because you know that saying, if mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Keep that in mind, because if you don't look after yourself and put you at the top of the list, you can't help anyone else. You can't help your children. You can't help your husband. You can't look after your dogs. So keep that in mind, because most women spend themselves to the point of exhaustion, and that tends to, then all the excess stress hormones that are secreted because of that then affects every other hormones in your body. So it's a mind shift. It's
Mhm.
all starts here. And it can be just a 10-minute break. That's only for you. If you don't have any time in the day, see if you can get up 10 minutes earlier, where you just do something for yourself. And
Mm.
that actually will actually help start balancing out your hormones. Is when you do something that will empower the feminine energy, that will also actually balance out your female hormones. So,
I love something that you said earlier, that how society, regular medicine, treats different stages in our life as a disease. And you know what? That is exactly it. I've actually never heard it put it so well before, obviously, because you are the expert. But yeah, if we're going through, we're pregnant, we're not sick. It's a part of our livelihood. If a teenager is going through their teenage at times, they're not depressed, or they're going through their stages in life. And this is the same thing with our when you go through menopause. Exactly it. So very interesting how you put it, and I think that that's one of the things that we have to change. Absolutely. And you said it right on the dot, is our mindset. The other thing you put it too is that you're right. I treat my dog much better than I would treat myself. I make sure that he gets his meals on time, that he gets his walks on time, and that's that is exactly it. And when it comes to me, well, it doesn't matter. I can catch maybe a nap of 15 minutes, and that it's most of the time that doesn't happen. So wow, what awakening, what an eye opener, because if I'm reiterating this to myself, I'm pretty sure that women that are there are probably thinking, "Yeah, you're right. That's one of the things that I'm lacking, one me time, even if it's a 15 minutes earlier in the day or during the day." So that's imperative. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome. And there's a lot of other tips that's actually simple to implement, but we just never think about it. And so,
No,
but the key is we as a women collectively need to get rid of the word guilt, because we feel guilty if we look after ourselves because we are told by society we are selfish. Selfish becomes a four-letter word. We need to be selfish so we can actually look after our family.
that's right.
If we're not, if we're sick, we've got chronic fatigue, we can't get out of bed. Who's going to look after our family and our dog? Who? So we need to look after ourselves first. Remember, when you're traveling, well, finally we get to travel, but when you're traveling during the safety um, announcement, what do they tell you when those oxygen masks come on? Who do you put it on first?
Exactly.
Because if I pass out because I don't have enough oxygen, I can't look after my child next to me or my mother next to her. So we always look after ourselves first, then we can look after everyone else that we love.
That's right. That's right. Well, everyone, I hope you paid attention. If anything, out of this whole conversation, this is the part that you need to pause. Remember, this is will be saved throughout all social media. This is Woman on Fire season, and as you can see, Dr. Anna Sullivan is definitely on fire. You will be able to see her in person if you do purchase your ticket. Is coming up soon. I can't believe it's next month already. And I can't wait to meet you, Dr. Sullivan, is to see you, to hug you, and to definitely see you in person, and network with you and with all the other incredible women that are going to be there. So thank you so much for your expertise, sharing your knowledge, and uplifting us. And I know there's a lot more where that came from, in person live on Woman on Fire on the 23rd and 24th. Any last word, my friend?
Well, I can't wait to give you a big hug because actually, when you hug somebody, at least for 6 seconds, you actually release a feel good hormone called oxytocin. So, every behavior actually causes a chemical reaction. So, hug everyone today.
We'll definitely do that for sure. I'm going to hug my better half right now. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you soon. And for all of you that are watching today, tomorrow, this evening, we will be back soon with another Woman on Fire, and we'll all hopefully we'll be able to see you all on the 23rd and 24th here in Mississauga in Canada. And make it a great day, everyone. Bye bye for now. And that was Dr. Hannah. Wow, incredible. So thank you, everyone. And we'll be back soon with another show. Bye.